What's up, you guys? So we're going to work on this longest common prefix question. And basically the idea behind it is we're going to get a array of strings and we have to figure out what is the longest string of words that all strings share starting from the beginning, right? So in this case, we have the first letter is F. So let's check and see if F is in the other two. Okay, yes, yes. Okay, so F is included. Now let's go to the next one, L. Okay, let's see if L is here. L, L. Okay, so include L. Let's move to the next one, O. Do we have O? Okay, yes. No, we do not. So on the first no we get there, we'll return all the common characters. So in this case, it would be FL. And here's another example where there's no common prefix. So let's think about how we're going to do this. Let's think of just brute force. Let's think of something that just simply solves this. Okay. Okay. So let's define our prefix as blank, and we'll add common characters to it as we go. Okay. And so we're going to loop over the characters in the first string. Okay, so let's just call it index and 0 until str's 0 dot length. And so that's going to loop over the indices of the first string. What are we going to do? Check if remaining strings have strings 0 index in the same position. If so, continue. Otherwise, return prefix. Right? So we'll keep adding to prefix as long as we find characters in common. So in this case, F is in common, L is in common, and then O is not in common, so we return FL. If so, and here we're going to add prefix. We're going to add that common character. Okay. Okay, so how are we going to find out if it's a common character? Okay, so we're going to make a function to do this. So we're going to say if is common char, and we're going to give it the character, and we're going to give it the strings. Okay, so we're going to make this function, and if it returns true, we'll add that character to our prefix. And then when we're done, we'll return prefix. And it might be 0. Oh, and we'll, let's see, if str's.length is 0, we just want to return the empty string. Or if it's null, str's is null, we'll just return an empty string. Okay. Now let's think about function is common character. So it's going to take a char, which is a character, and strings, which is an array of strings. It will return a Boolean, true or false. Okay. Oh, we don't need that for here. We're doing pseudocode. All right, let's think about this. We have a character and arrays. So how do we know if that character is common in the same position in all arrays? Okay. So we just need to check that character is in the correct position in the remaining arrays. So because array 0 we're using as our base. So we'll check in the remaining arrays if character is in the right spot. Okay. So for index in 1 until strs.size, what are we going to do? So we need to check that char is in the correct position. Oh, so we need the correct position. Okay. So I guess we're going to take an index, which will be an int. Okay. So we're changing that up a little bit. And then we have to call this something else. Let's just call this let's just call it J. Okay, let's think now. I mean to check. Okay, so we're going to make a val, we're going to call it common, and this is going to be the character that they're all going to share in common. So that's going to be strings 0 index. That's going to be the common character. Okay, so if str's j index equals common, and we need to make sure that, like, for example, if we got the W and then we try to check E, if we try to access E in flow, it's going to give us a exception in index out of bounds exception. So we need to make sure that that doesn't happen. And we can do that by adding a check in front of this one. So it's going to be if index is less than str's length. Str's j. So this and, if this first one evaluates the false, the whole thing automatically evaluates the false, and it doesn't execute the second one, which could produce an exception, which we're trying to avoid. Okay, and so that's the reason for adding this here, is to avoid that exception. So we find that the character is shared in common. We're just gonna continue, right? Because we need to check every single array in strs. Else, okay, it's not in common, then we're just gonna return false. And if we make it out here, we're gonna return true. It is a common character. Okay, I think that works. And let's think about what's the time space complexity of this. So time complexity, this first loop, so that's going to be, we'll call n the length of the shortest character, right? Because we're going to stop as soon as we could potentially hit an index out of bounds error, we're going to stop. Wait, let's see. Yeah, so this is going to return false when we get to the end of flow, the second one. And when this returns false, we're just going to return the prefix so far. So we're going to call n we'll say n is length of shortest string, and times m, and m is, let's think, because there's this loop that we're going through here, and that is str's dot size. So not super short. This could definitely take some time to run. Now let's think of space complexity. Let's think. What variables are we declaring? Prefix, which is a string. It's just going to be O of 1, constant space. I guess it depends on, like a longer string takes up more space, so I guess it depends. So the largest prefix will, its maximum is the minimum length of the minimum length string in STRs. So let's call this n again, where n is length of the shortest string. Okay, so O n times m time complexity and O of n space. Like if we have a string with 200,000 characters, it's going to take more time, more space than a string with 1 character. Okay, let's implement this. Let's see what happens. Okay. Let's copy this. Clean this up a bit. Okay. All right. Let's think about this. Yes, that works. This has to be a var. We need to enclose this in parentheses. Need to add this in here. Okay. We need closing. What? Okay. Okay, and let's make our is common char. It's going to take an index. Oh, and let's just copy this as well. Clean this up. Huh. That's a little annoying. Alright. Okay, cleaning this up here. This needs that. Let's stick these in there. Okay. What else? Common. Needs parentheses. Okay, what else? I believe that's it. Let's try this. Okay. Oh, right. Made this mistake a couple times. All right, let's see here. And so as we get these errors, we try and just debug and try and make it run. Okay, expecting an element. What does that mean? Oh, otherwise, what is going on there? Else. Okay, so we're getting this error, expecting an element. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, wait. Forgot a parenthesis there. All right, let's see. Oh, and for an array, we use size. We use length for a string. Okay. Okay, there you go, guys. So O of n times m, time complexity, O of n, space complexity. Let me know in the comments if you guys think you found something different for time and space complexity. All right, you guys, take it easy.